Hey guys, welcome back to Max's Horror and Sci-Fi Movie Vault Reviews, and today I'll be looking at Blood Tracks from 1985. Now, I know it's been a while since I reviewed a movie because I've been just doing a bunch of weekly physical media unboxings, so I'm glad to finally do a review. And since for me it's a snow day today, I said, why not review a movie with a bunch of snow? So, Blood Tracks is a 1985 movie about a heavy metal band that goes out to Swedish mountains, I believe, to film a music video for their upcoming album. Now, things turn out to go sideways when a cannibalistic family is living in the mountains, and one by one they take out every single heavy metal band member. Now, that sounds kind of like Friday the 13th, but it's just a slasher. Now, Blood Tracks, I think, is really fun. It's definitely, not the best quality movie, but I think it does the job in terms of being an 80s slasher that's pretty sleazy, and yeah. There are some pretty memorable moments in this movie. When I saw it for the first time on this amazing Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray, I thought, wow, that was something else, because, there's this, one kill when, I think they, set off this, switch, and this rope just, slowly cuts a woman in half. And there's, this other scene when this guy and girl are, having sex, and then they get put in by an avalanche, and then they have to get, taken out, and then one girl is naked. It's a pretty crazy movie. Also, I think Jeff Harding is his name. He's the male lead. He's definitely a fun character. When he sees that every heavy metal band member is dying, he's kind of nonchalant about it, but again, I don't really. It's definitely one of those movies that you can discover as being a out there slasher movie that's pretty interesting. But yeah, and I gotta admit, at the beginning the kills are okay, but once you get later and later into the film, it gets really good, and it gets really gory. There's this one scene where, a girl's, thrown off of the top of this, in this factory where most of the kills happen, and she just falls straight into a bunch of, wooden stakes, vampire style or something. My dog being in the video. But, yeah, I thought the movie was interesting. I wouldn't say it's great. I'd say it's definitely a lesser film, but it's something that you can laugh at and enjoy for just how interesting it is. Because the premise of having a heavy metal band go to mountains, snowy mountains, and then just get killed off by a cannibalistic family, it's interesting. Also has, speaking of interesting things, it has a really unique opening scene where, it's supposedly a backstory for the cannibalistic family about this, girl having troubles with her husband and things like that. But it's never really said what it directly leads to, but it kind of gives you that assumption because, there's this guy and girl and they're, trying to make things work when they're killing people. That sounds really weird out loud, but yeah. Pretty interesting movie. It kind of left me speechless because I was very confused on, okay, so this happened, and then that happened, and then, but the kills are pretty good. They definitely mirror Tom Savini, I'd say. But I think they do the job for this movie, and they're pretty gory. Like I said earlier, when the rope, saws the woman in half, basically, that's, pretty crazy. And then there's, two survivors, and, they just shoot a bunch of people. And then, there's this one part when I think Jeff Harding's character, he's, talking to one of, the cannibalistic people, and he's like, "Who are you? What are you doing?" And, you can tell that the person, can't really speak that well. And the thing is, she's not trying to kill him. So what happens is he's like, "What are you doing?" And then she, kind of, stutters because she can't really speak that well. And then he just shoots her. I'm like, okay, sure. But as you can see by the cover, that's definitely what the killers look like. That's a fair assumption because, kind of gritty, grimy faces. yeah, just very beat up. But yeah, I'd give Blood Tracks a 7 out of 10. I know it sounds unfair because the movie isn't really the best quality, but I think it's pretty good because, it's just really funny and it's definitely one of those like out there 80s movies if that makes sense. Like but yeah, Blood Tracks really interesting. If you've seen 80s slashers and you haven't seen this one, give it a watch. Really interesting. Anyways, this is Max from Max's Horror Sci-Fi Movie Vault signing out. See ya.